Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Sunday, November the 26th. Happy Thanksgiving. First up, news of the Flight Replicas DC4 from JustFlight. The Flight Replicas DC4 from JustFlight covers multiple variants of the aircraft, including the C-54A and B, the R5D, the DC4 of course, and the Carver. There are 10 different variants in total in this package. It also includes 9 different and accurate virtual cockpits covering each of those different aircraft variants. The Flight Replicas DC4 has accurate flight dynamics, fully interactive cockpits, a working Sperry A3 autopilot, and animated pilots. It also comes with a flight operations manual based on the original from Douglas. The price for the Flight Replicas DC4 from JustFlight is $42.95 for prepared version 4, or $42.95 for the separate FSX and prepared 1 through 3 package. Next up, news from FS Labs about the Concorde. FS Labs Concorde may be coming to prepared version 4. Flightsim Labs made a post on Facebook that they are considering rebuilding their Concorde product from the ground up for prepared version 4. It will feature a new virtual cockpit and cockpit model, new high-res textures, accurate BA and Air France variants, all new sound set, true dynamic lighting, of course using the technology they developed for their Airbus, full cabin PA announcements, accurate weather radar, and a new simulation of Concorde's engines, again using the technology that Flightsim Labs developed when they built the Airbus. As with their previous Concordes, this will be a study level simulation, the only one in fact available for prepared. Now they estimate the price to be around $100, but they aren't actually going to build this without your support. If you would be interested in flying the Concorde in prepared version 4, head on over to the Facebook post linked in the show notes below and follow the instructions in that post to send an email to FS Labs to add your voice to the others. FS Labs have said that if enough people do this, they will go ahead and build Concorde for prepared version 4. Next up, the Millvis DHC-3 Otter. Millvis's next aircraft in their bush flying series has released, and it's the DHC-3 Otter. The aim apparently was to create an aircraft that can be flown either by the book for ultimate realism or just jump in and go for the more casual pilots out there. There are 4 configurations in the package for this, one with standard wheels, one with floats, one with skis, and one with tundra tires. Each also has slightly different flight characteristics to match the different airframe configurations. It features an accurate and true-to-life interior and exterior, completely accurate simulations of key systems and characteristics such as the fuel system and the electrical system. Custom powered tailwheel simulation is also included, and the aircraft also includes custom icing simulation. It also features cumulative damage as well over time. Finally, now as if that list of features was not enough, it also features a custom-coded accurate simulation of the CAP 140 autopilot. Millvis's DHC-3 Otter supports the Flight 1 GTN units for GPS as well as the Reality XP GNS and the Mindstar GNS units. It supports all versions of FSX and prepared version 2, 3 and 4. Currently the price is $34.99. It is going to raise after an intro period though to $39.99. More information at the millvis.com link in the show notes below. Over to X-Plane now, and news that JustFlight's Turbo Arrow 3 and 4 are coming to X-Plane. Following on from the release of the Arrow 3 for X-Plane, JustFlight have announced that they, in partnership with Herons Design, are working on the Turbo Arrow 3 and 4. The aircraft, as before, is being built from real-world plans. It features 4K textures throughout and full use of PBR materials to get the look inside and out completely authentic. There's even an in-flight livery switcher to allow changing the aircraft without having to reload within X-Plane. Now, just as with the Arrow 3, it will have a working flight computer, simulated failures, pop-out engine and autopilot displays, and a full set of customization options to tweak the aircraft to your own sim. It will also include a full set of documentation. The aircraft also features, however, completely accurate flight modeling, including accurate simulation of how the T-tail on the aircraft behaves. No idea of a release date just yet. The price they are asking for when it does release though is $41.99. Stay tuned to the JustFlight product page linked in the show notes below for more news. Next up, Turbulent Designs Idaho Falls is coming to X-Plane. Following Turbulent Designs' announcement earlier this year that they are going to start building X-Plane sceneries, Turbulent Designs have posted up some shots of Idaho Falls that went into beta the week before last. The FSX and prepared versions of this package were released some time ago and they were very well received. Idaho Falls is a small regional airport that is an air transportation center for eastern Idaho, southern Montana, and western Wyoming. It's actually used as an access airport as well for Yellowstone National Park, Jackson Hole, and Grand Teton National Park. Now on FSX and Prepared, the package covered 12 square kilometers of scenery, including the falls themselves. Also featured accurate and highly detailed buildings and points of interest in the surrounding area, an updated and high-definition ground polygon, dynamic lighting, and highly detailed autogen. Hopefully, we're going to get exactly the same stuff in X-Plane, and from the screenshots that you've been looking at so far, it does indeed look like they've nailed it on X-Plane 11. No official news of a release date just yet, but the FSX and Prepared version cost £19.99. For more information, head on over to Turbulent Designs forums, linked in the show notes below. Now, news of iBlue Yonder's Herons Nest. Another developer making the leap to X-Plane at long last is iBlue Yonder. Bill Womack announced on Facebook that his highly detailed freeware package, Herons Nest, is coming to X-Plane, and he posted the screenshots you're looking at to back up his claims. The Herons Nest is a small dirt strip on outer Heron Island in Maine. The scenery includes the strip, of course, as well as the nearby cottage, hangar, and tons of nature. There's even a water hangar in a protected cove near the cottage for the float plane fans. No news of a release date just yet, but it is truly great to see yet another well-known and highly acclaimed scenery developer start looking at bringing their products to the rapidly growing world of X-Plane. Next up, the Flight Factor and Step to Sky Boeing 757 version 2 extended. The video you're watching from, as is often the case, is from my good friend Thomas Rasmussen and is linked in the show notes below. Flight Factor and Step to Sky have released an extensive overhaul of their amazing 757 for X-Plane. The 757 V2 Extended is a study-level simulation of the Boeing 757 and brings into the mix a fully functional GPWS with all the modes the actual aircraft does, as well as a fully functional and accurate simulation of the terrain radar and weather radar. Wing flets has been upgraded and improved, dynamic reflections added to all glass surfaces, including new glow effects on the screens on the flight deck, and a custom sound set from BSS is included, featuring hundreds of custom sounds, individual switch sounds in the cockpit, as well as cabin and airport environment sounds. The aircraft also features an interactive iPad-like interface that's used to access features of the sim within the cockpit, including loading and unloading, maintenance, pushback, failures, and doors and ground equipment management. As with the previous version, it features a completely accurate flight model and breathtakingly detailed simulations of pretty much every single system in the actual aircraft. It is also the only Boeing 757 available for X-Plane that is officially licensed by Boeing. The price for the Flight Factor and Step to Sky Boeing 757 version 2 Extended is $20 if you own version 1, $84.95 if you don't. More information at the xplane.org store, link in the show notes below. Now, our final news story this week comes from the world of IL-2. The IL-2 team put out some big announcements a couple of weeks ago. The IL-2 team took to the forums to make a massive set of announcements about the iconic World War II combat simulator, officially detailing no less than 3 new IL-2 titles. The first, Battle of Bodenplatte, will explore the air war near the end of 1944 and into 1945, introducing the first proper jets into the combat theatre as the Allies flew low-level missions into Germany from bases in Belgium and Holland, while the Germans responded with surprise attacks on Allied airfields. The package is going to feature a ton of late-model World War II fighters, as well as detailed low-level maps for parts of Holland, Belgium, and Germany. Battle of Bodenplatte, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, is available for pre-order right now for $69.99. That will also grant you entry to the Early Access program when that starts soon. The second package is Flying Circus Volume 1, and it is the start of the team's plans to integrate and rebuild Rise of Flight within the new Sturmovik engine, including adding virtual reality support and moving the sim into a 64-bit environment. It will be available for pre-order in 2018 and will bring with it a 100 square kilometer map of France, including accurate modeling of no man's land and several airfields, cities, towns, and villages. Aircraft covered in Flying Circus Volume 1 will include the SPAD-13C1, the Sopwith Dolphin, the Camel, the SE-5A, the Bristol Fighter, the Fokker DR-1 and D-8, and many, many more. The final product is called Tank Crew, and that too will launch in early 2018, bringing a ground combat component into IL-2 Sturmovik, with multi-crew tanks taking to the battlefield in the Battle of Kursk. The initial map will be 100 square kilometers in size and cover Belgorod in any of 12 accurate and unique tank models. The multi-crew aspect of this has me really excited. More information and the full announcement is over on the IL-2 forums, linked in the show notes below. So that's it for this week's news show. I do apologize for missing last week. I was a little bit busy. I nearly missed this week as well. If I did miss something vital, do leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll take a look and see if I should include it in next week's show. Until then though, my name is Frugal. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this, and I will see you all very soon.